This is the yearly astrological horoscope for Capricorn in 2022. January through March. This astrology forecast is for those who have their sun in Capricorn or a Capricorn Ascendant, also known as the rising sign. As a Capricorn, your ruling planet is Saturn, which represents maturity, rules, laws, boundaries, and physical reality. Your element is Earth and your mode is cardinal. You are, as a Capricorn, a cardinal Earth sign. Cardinal Earth represents initiating or getting things moving on the Earth plane. Capricorn is symbolized by the goat. The goat is the most sure-footed of animals. The goat methodically takes its time climbing the steepest, most rocky, treacherous mountains to the top. Saturn represents the highest of physical achievements. The hindquarter of the goat is pictured as a fish's tail, symbolically referring to the depths of spiritual attainment, of diving within the self to get to the highest attainment or achievement, represented by the mountaintop. This represents the highest physical and spiritual achievement, which is mastership over life. Capricorn's meaning is seen through the goat's symbolism as well as through its ruling planet Saturn, which represents maturity, limitations, constraints, restraints, fear, anxiety, depression, and death. Like the goat, Capricorns will work diligently and tirelessly, without rest or compromise, to achieve success. Saturn gives this sign the structure needed to persist through the most difficult of circumstances in order to attain their goal. January 1st, the Sun, Venus, Mercury, and Pluto will all be in Capricorn in your first house of self and crossing your ascendant. You are having your solar return or birthday. During this time, you will be primarily focused on yourself, your ambitions, goals, and life mission. Pluto has been in your first house of self since 2008 and will remain there through 2024. Pluto represents the hidden and secretive because he represents the underworld, or that which is beneath the surface. Pluto also represents quantum change and evolution. Yourself has been undergoing a process of transformation or metamorphosis that requires you to delve deep within the spiritual recesses of your psyche and of your personal ambitions on the earth plane. Pluto is having you delve into the darker zones of yourself to be reborn again without the scars or trauma you've been holding on to. Mercury represents your concrete, practical mind or your everyday thinking mind. Mercury in your first house of self means it's a good time to express your point of view to people. You may find you are examining yourself more from an objective viewpoint. This is a great time to use your mind to focus on yourself as well as evaluate yourself. Focusing on projects is also good during this time. Venus represents love, attraction and repulsion, desire, your relationships to things. Venus in your first house really works well with Mercury because Venus represents how you express yourself to others. Together with Mercury, you should be communicating in ways that people really understand and resonate with. Venus helps you relate to others, so much so that if you have a differing viewpoint, you may not even defend your stance on issues. Venus in the first house may make you feel non-confrontational or unaggressive. You may also be the peacekeeper between other people's disagreements. First house Venus also may indicate that you'd rather be out having fun than working. This is a great month to go out and have fun. The Sun in your first house is a really good time to look at yourself and see the progress you've made and what in your life needs work. The Sun is starting a new intention for this year, and it is always a good idea to look at your strengths and weaknesses and where you can improve yourself. The Sun wants you to express yourself this month. It is about focusing on yourself and what you want. This can sometimes make it difficult to work with others because of the self-centeredness that the Sun represents. If you are struggling working with others, it is suggested to wait, if possible, until the Sun moves into your second house. Depending on the degree of your Sun, this could be days, weeks, or the entire month. Early in January and through February, Pluto will form a trine, the best aspect possible, to your North Node in fixed Earth Taurus, in your fifth house of joy, creativity, betting, gambling, love affairs, and children, in the keyword mastership. Pluto will also form a sextile, another harmonious aspect, to the South Node in fixed water Scorpio in your 11th house of friendships, social groups, and clubs, in the keyword attainment. The North Node represents your future and the direction you want to be headed. The South Node represents your past, or where you don't want to be headed. Throughout life, we go back and forth between the nodes based on life circumstances and situations and how we handle them. Oftentimes, you'll find yourself reverting back to old patterns of behavior, even back to childhood behavior represented by the South Node. The North Node in this case would be new patterns of behavior we have developed or are developing in how to handle circumstances and situations in better ways. The North Node in the keyword mastership refers to having the ability to use physical means to attain spiritual ends. The keyword mastership is subruled by Capricorn Saturn, so this falls into your wheelhouse of understanding. It has to do with the slow and steady climb to the top based on using the power you already possess within you. A master is someone who the world or the universe can throw anything at, and yet they can overcome the obstacle and still move forward and succeed. The direction you want to be heading is in your 5th house of betting, gambling, risk-taking, having fun, and using your creativity. This is betting or gambling on yourself based on your readiness to be a master in whatever way you are drawn to express yourself. Creativity is an expression of yourself. It comes through your soul's innate ability or desire to express itself in some form and then manifest it. Mastership is saying you have the tools you already need within you. Now is the time to use those abilities. The key word for the South Node in Scorpio with the subrulership of Cancer Moon is attainment. Attainment refers to having intense emotions and vivid ideas. This area of the zodiac reveals the potency of sex when sublimated to carry your soul to the highest summit of physical and mental achievement. The great success comes when you find another person with your same values who inspires you to work hard and make something of your life. This decanate represents social life being an important factor in your life. You must ask yourself if your social life is contributing to you leading a better life, or are your friends and social groups and clubs detracting you from your usefulness to society? Both the North and South nodes are in positive aspects to Pluto. Pluto is about quantum change and evolution. Pluto takes us through dark experiences in order to clean and clear away that which no longer serves us. This transformative process is long and often painful, but as you heal things within yourself, you no longer hold on to that which holds you back. Pluto supporting both nodes is saying in order to move towards the future, you must heal your past. Your past is currently looking in the direction of attainment in your social groups and friendships. What dark or secretive things are lurking in your past that you've been working through over the past 10 or so years? Have you explored your past wounds, scars, and traumas? These scars happen on the physical plane, but also affect your psyche or subconscious mind. You are being called to look to the future, to mastership, so you can move forward in life. This is about you following your own path in whatever way, shape, or form your soul is guiding you to do. You're being called during this time to trust in your own abilities and use your creativity of self-expression in a way that allows you to take ownership over your life. On March 2nd, Mars will conjunct Pluto, which is still in harmony to the nodes. Mars is action, ambition, assertion, willpower, aggression, anger, and war. The combination of Mars-Pluto can be pretty volatile. This represents a burst of ego energy that doesn't like limitations. You feel very powerful during these few days. Just make sure you're not the victim of someone else's power move. Incidents around violence can occur if Mars-Pluto is negatively aspected in your personal chart. In the current transits, there are no astrological influence showing any violence taking place at this time. On a positive note, this is a good time to get things accomplished, especially in the areas of using your creativity. You may experience using your power to create something wonderful. However, you may use your power to exert your will over your child or children. You may find yourself having conversations with your friends in social groups where you express to them what you are going through. Your friends in social groups should be a great outlet for you unless you disagree with them. Disagreements could lead to ego conflicts. Ego conflicts show you need to look within yourself to solve your problems. Pluto-Mars would be indicating something deep within you is being challenged, and you must work long and hard to accomplish and heal whatever within you is angered or agitated. April through June. On April 4th, Mars conjuncts Saturn in fixed air Aquarius in your second house of money, possessions, and things you want, in the keyword repression. Repression isn't about being repressed, but about becoming unrepressed. However, Saturn is the planet of repression. So how do you get unrepressed from money issues and wanting things you currently aren't able to obtain? Through persistence, hard work, patience, and maturity. Maturity is being responsible. In this case, it's about wise investments, saving money, not overspending, and being resourceful. Saturn also represents the government, so you may find inflation has caused you to be more fickle in your spending. You may also find the government has restricted or limited things you can do to obtain money. Aquarius is a social sign, so you may find you aren't able to say or communicate due to censorship in the way you once did to obtain the things you want and like due to financial restrictions. Saturn is also teaching you what is really important in your life. He's showing you there's more important things than money and material things, such as spiritual, psychological, and moral values. This is what you are working to understand. During this time, you may be restructuring your value system in regard to the future. Saturn squares the north node of where you want to be headed. You may feel like you're headed down this fearful road that may even lead to poverty. However, this isn't the case. Don't let fear run your life. You're to be looking at the structure of your life, starting with your spirituality and your psyche. You may be starting a new project or creative endeavor, or taking a risk on working for yourself. This can be a cause of great fear because you're putting your faith in yourself, but also because money doesn't usually flow into your bank account right away. It takes time to get things going, to get your idea and name out in the world, before money starts coming in. You are a Capricorn, so I'm sure you'll be patient and continue to work hard on your passions and become successful in whatever you are doing. On April 4th, Mars will conjunct Saturn, forming a square to the North Node and the Moon. This will most likely be a day of frustration. Saturn is like the brake to Mars's gas pedal. Mars wants to propel you into action and start something up, or go do something. Mars in his position with Saturn squaring the Moon could manifest as you reacting to authority. There is something holding you back, and you'll probably be irritated. This aspect passes quickly, so take your frustrations out at the gym or some type of physical exercise or labor. This is a good transit to get work accomplished. Just be careful you don't allow your stewing anger to get the best of you, where you lose your focus and get injured. Those working with heavy equipment or dangerous tools need to be careful for a few days. On April 13th and 14th, Jupiter forms a conjunction in mutable water Pisces in your third house of communication, writing, teaching, and speaking in the keyword vicissitudes. Vicissitudes is in the third or spiritual decanate of Pisces with the sub-rulership of Scorpio, Mars, Pluto. Neptune, Jupiter rule Pisces, and so they are in great strength in their positions. It takes Neptune 165 years to go around the zodiac, so never again in your lifetime will this conjunction occur. Neptune is the highest vibrational frequency and represents divine love or unity consciousness. Neptune is such a high vibrational planet that it leaves people confused and disillusioned. Neptune also represents dreams, spirituality, imagination, and dissolving boundaries. Jupiter represents optimism, abundance, expansion, excess, growth, and the bigger picture. The bigger picture is Neptune together with Jupiter, so you may think you can learn everything or know everything, but as you learn more, you realize you know less. There is too much to know. Because Neptune causes confusion and disillusionment, it is important you communicate clearly. This conjunction starts in early to mid-March and won't end until the end of May. Miscommunication can cause misunderstanding, which can affect your relationships with others as well as with coworkers. This isn't a time to get involved in projects with other people because it can lead to many problems. Wait until this transit is over to start something new. You may find yourself writing, teaching, speaking, or learning about spirituality. Your thinking may profoundly change in a positive way. You may find yourself concerned in a spiritual or metaphysical way about humanity and the world. Remember, Neptune is unity consciousness, which has to do with the whole of humanity. You may be concerned with what is happening on a global scale and try to understand the truth behind what is going on worldwide. Your imagination may run wild with ideas, and you may be sharing these ideas with others. However, how hard you try, you can't figure the entirety of it all. It's too massive and complex, but the divine understanding can help you come to spiritual truths behind what is occurring in your life and in the mass consciousness. If you turn to spirituality, you may become interested in karma and reincarnation. Jupiter represents justice, and so you may find the entirety of humanity involved in a collective karma. Karma means action. What actions have you taken, or the mass population taken, that would involve a collective karma in connection with what is going on in the world? There are good people and bad people in this play we called life. Have the good people been allowing the bad people to take power and do bad things? You may wonder if there is a karmic punishment going on, or is there a karmic lesson happening, or both? Or is there a shift in the collective consciousness of mankind happening as we transition into a higher reality? These and many other questions may be on your mind during this transit. The keyword vicissitudes refers to recapitulating your life in exciting ways. This oftentimes refers to moving or changing jobs. In your third house, it could represent taking a short trip where you're looking for a new place to live or a job change. However, vicissitudes can also mean helping to prepare people for existence after death. You may be concerned with those sick and dying or concerned with the elderly. Spiritually, you may be able to communicate with those who have crossed over to the spiritual plane. Neptune is the planet of channeling, and so you may be able to channel the dead or talk with a medium who can channel. Jupiter will expand your confusion, but also your spiritual understanding. You may find yourself interested in many topics at this time, and also learning and talking about many topics at this time. You may feel emotionally sensitive because of the enormity of all that is going on. It may overwhelm you. Meditation will help with understanding Neptune's energy and influence in your life because it gets you in touch with a higher vibrational frequency. It expands your mind and dives deep into realities and realms most people are unaware of. Plus, meditation will bring you calm and peace. On May 17th, Mars will conjunct Neptune in Pisces in the keyword vicissitudes. Jupiter has now moved into Aries and is no longer in a conjunction with Neptune. Mars-Neptune can bring weird feelings. You may feel very irritable and not really know why. Something may come up where you're not sure you even have the words to express how you're feeling. If you've taken a short trip, maybe looking for a new place to move, you may not be able to make a correct decision that is best for you. None of the places you visit will feel quite right. Ego energy of Mars wants to propel you to take some kind of action, but Neptune's frequency denies the ego what it wants. This can manifest as delusions or not thought out plans or ideas. Also, be careful in what you're communicating during this time. It's probably best to keep your thoughts to yourself for a few days until Mars passes by. This will give you time to process what you think and feel and allow you the opportunity to not do or say something incorrectly or that you may regret. The good news of this transit is that it is a wonderful time to be in service to others. Doing community service work, joining or being part of a spiritual or religious group that does things such as humanitarian projects. This is a good time to dive into religious or spiritual books or practices to learn, understand, and gain a more enlightened perspective. This will help you cope with your feelings as well as help you deal with the world. It will also help clarify deep concerns and questions you have about existence. July through September. The end of July and beginning of August, Mars will conjunct Uranus and the North Node in fixed Earth Taurus in your fifth house of joy, creativity, love affairs, betting, gambling, and children in the keyword struggle. Struggle referred to here is about the combat between physical and mental forces. This is where, through the use of your higher mind, Uranus, you will focus your mind where you cause obstacles blocking you to crumble. Mars will propel this through action, anger, sheer willpower, or all of them combined. Uranus represents freedom, liberation, independence, shock, and rebellion. This may cause rash or sudden behavior or sudden incidents. This may spark your creative expression in a way that allows you to break free from the blocks you've had. However, Saturn is squaring or in a discordant aspect to Mars, Uranus, and the North Node of where you want to be headed. Saturn has been restricting your creativity, your ability to invest, save as much money as you'd like, or spend money freely. He's also been stifling your ability to move forward in life or through your behaviors. He's been forcing you into past behaviors and friendships that challenge you in your attempts to move forward or take a higher road in how you react to situations. Saturn is also the government, so be very careful if you find yourself suddenly acting out, protesting, or fighting. This may come with some legal consequences. On July 30th, Neptune will form an inconjunction to the Moon. Neptune can manifest as substance abuse, so be careful if you drink too much alcohol or use drugs on this day. It can be a time of intense feelings, so use your judgment wisely. August 2nd, Venus will be in your 7th house of marriage and partnerships, forming a trine to Neptune, which may cause you to be extra creative, imaginative, or dreamy. However, Venus squares Jupiter in Aries and forms an inconjunction or crisis situation to Saturn. Jupiter also opposes the Moon this day. Jupiter is in your house of home and family. The Moon will be in your 10th house of career and status. There may be opposing views going on with your family as it relates to your career. The Moon is in cardinal air Libra, weighing out options based on how you feel. Is your family supportive? Do you want the same things? Venus in a disharmonious aspect to Saturn says you may be having marriage or business partnership issues over money, spending, or how to invest. Your marriage or partnership will be challenged for a few days to a week during this transit. Venus in a trine to Neptune will have your head in a fog. It is suggested to not make any big decisions about business, finances, investment, or spending during this week. August 20th, Mars will enter mutable air Gemini in your 6th house of work, service, and health. Mars will remain in Gemini for the rest of the year and into 2023. Gemini has to do with communication. Being mutable air, it will ignite the fire energy of Mars. This will propel you into working hard and having lots of energy to get things done. Mars being in Gemini, you'll want to say what is on your mind. You may want to take credit for your hard work and accomplishments. Working for someone else may be difficult because they may want to take the credit for your work, which may be hard on your ego. Service work may be an item to check off your list if you're doing it to boost your ego rather than doing it from a place of love and compassion. October through December. Mid-October, Mars in your 6th house in Gemini forms a trine to the Sun and Venus in cardinal air Libra in your 10th house of career and status. The Sun-Venus form a trine to Saturn in fixed air Aquarius in your 2nd house of money, possessions, and things you want, and Saturn trines Mars. This forms an air grand trine, the best aspect possible. Your work, service, health, career, and your money all are in harmony. Life may seem to be in a wonderful flow. Your health and success will be good because you are communicating through writing, teaching, or speaking. You aren't allowing yourself to repress your thoughts and ideas. Saturn has given you the maturity, patience, and solid work routine to get your plans into action. This is affecting you in a positive way, and you should be getting a lot accomplished. In your career, you may be getting recognized for your efforts. The Sun, Venus are in the keyword independence when the air grand trine begins. The Sun is your illumination, spontaneity, and vitality. Venus is attraction and repulsion, desire, love, and relationship to things. Independence refers to liberty in your thoughts and actions. Those with differing viewpoints may cause you to rebel against them. Mars is anger and action, So what type of action are you taking? Are you fighting to solidify your ideas, beliefs, and opinions in service to humanity, or to fluff your own ego? This is an important question to ask yourself as the Sun-Venus move into the last portion of Libra. As the Year Grand Trine continues, the Sun-Venus move into the keyword expiation in Libra. This is the spiritual or wisdom decanate of Libra. Expiation refers to transgressing either the laws of man or those of God. Due to the brilliancy of your mind during this time, you may have a tendency to work towards servicing others or work to keep them down in poverty and ignorance by not sharing what you know with them. Air is about communication. As you age and go through life, you get into higher positions and have a greater knowledge and understanding of how things work. Are you using your talents and abilities combined with your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to help your fellow man? Or are you using your talents to work against them? Are you profiting by other people's ignorance of truths and facts that you are withholding from them? The world has come to a place where people are on opposing sides. Those repressing humanity and holding them down is based on this very concept of keeping people in ignorance, and thereby keeping them in a place where they can't succeed because they don't know the truth. Are you being transparent with your coworkers, with those in your industry, with your family and friends? Are you communicating the truth as to what is really going on? Are you giving people all the facts and information they need to make an informed decision? These are questions to ask yourself as time unfolds, and the pressure mounts for those who haven't yet decided if their life is based on religious or spiritual principles and beliefs, or if they serve an elite class of individuals who are attempting to keep humankind in ignorance. Mars is in the keyword reason, which represents enlightened thinking. Again, who are you enlightening? Are you sharing your knowledge and wisdom with those who aren't aware of what you know, or are you sharing it with only those in positions above you? Saturn in the Grand Trine will show your maturity to whatever situation or life circumstance you are in. Your knowledge may make you a lot of money. It may free you temporarily from having money issues. You may make a great decision about an investment that pays off. You may be inspired during this time to make money through your ideas and what you are communicating, either through writing, teaching, or speaking. Be careful who you are speaking with and about, and who you are investing with. As this transit is positive, the Sun and Venus move on quickly, and Saturn will move forward into the keyword repression. So take the good now as long as it's in your best interest. Decisions may be hard and affect your life mission and the way people view you. Mars forms an inconjunction to your Sun and Ascendant, and the transiting Sun and Venus form a square to your Sun and Ascendant. These are hard aspects, crisis or tension points that will affect your ego, your spirit, and illumination. It's part of healing aspects within yourself. The Sun also represents purification. You're purifying yourself based on your decisions and actions. Your words and choices are solely up to you on how you are going about using them. The end of December, the planetary positions come back to where they began with Venus, Mercury, and the Sun moving back into your home sign of Capricorn. Venus and the Sun will form a stellium with Pluto by the end of the year. You may see your life recapitulating or moving in a different direction. Pluto, Venus, Mercury will form a sextile to Neptune in Pisces in your third house of communication. You may be communicating with others new information that you've been holding on to. This would be hidden or secret information that would help benefit others. You may also dive more into esoteric knowledge and metaphysics as your desire to learn more about the deeper aspects of spirituality grows. Pluto is the underworld, the hidden, the secretive, and Neptune is divine love and unity consciousness. Mercury is your mind and Venus is love and desire. You may find a deep attraction and desire to learn the hidden mysteries of spirituality through meditation, spiritual practice, and learning knowledge that comes from a higher source. This knowledge will help you throughout your life and also help you in your quest to enlighten your fellow man to truths that for many lies hidden below the surface of their conscious understanding. Please subscribe to my channel and give a thumbs up if you like this video. To have a personal astrology reading with me, visit astrologywithjeffreybryan.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at astrologywithjeffreybryan or on Getter at Jeffrey Bryan. You can also subscribe to my blog at my website astrologywithjeffreybryan.com, and also various types of meditations can also be found on my website. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.